Hi guys, welcome to Ultimate Autobahn, your YouTube channel for sports and supercars. I'm Alex and this is the first show, and today I want to show you my daily driver, the Audi S4 B6. A very special Audi S4 because it was the first and until now only one that ever had a 4.2 litre 8-cylinder engine. Every other Audi S4 that you've seen before or after is a 6-cylinder, and this is why this car is so special and wonderful. And some of you might think now, like, Alex, what is the special thing about this car? I know the RS7, it got an 8-cylinder, yeah, that's true. And the RS7 is like way wider. Yeah, you get this like really wide body parts here that is specially done by the Quattro GmbH from Audi. And the Audi S4 is basically, and that's what you basically can see here from the side, it's a simple Audi A4, right? There's nothing special here. That looks really flat and A4-like. Even if you look from the back, you will see it gets like two pipes, and that's it. Looks like an A4 1.8 litre, and that's it. But of course, you are the Audi passionate guys and girls, right? And therefore you immediately saw that this one got another bumper here in the front where you can see bigger air intakes, and this part is painted, and then it goes on the side where you can see this aluminium optics side mirror, also really nice, this side line going around the windows, shining in aluminium optics, and I really do like these details. But the detail I like most about the S4 is this here. It's the side, like you got these extensions to the doors that make it a little bit wider, and although that's really a minimal detail, the car looks so much stronger with these. And some of you know that the Audi S6, that is the equivalent in times to this one, has these side bumpers as well. Also the A6 all-road in these times, and I think like this is just like a really simple detail, but that makes this car very special. And the other thing is, you know, like because it is based on the A4 with everything that you can see around here, it makes it really cheap in maintenance. Because for example, if somebody hits your side, you can simply replace it with an Audi A4 part that doesn't cost you a lot of money, whereas if you take in an Audi RS4 and somebody's just slightly scratching it, that's going to be expensive. So that's really cool. That's why it is my daily driver. And the reason why really my daily driver is the 8-cylinder, the 4.2 litre engine. It's just insane. It's lovely. It's really cool. It's so freaking strong. It's got a lot of torque that is coming at already 3,500 RPMs. It's really cool. I'm going to tell you more about the engine when we start this engine up. But so far, what else do you have to know about this car? This car, in this version, the B6 version, was only produced for 2 years actually. 2003 in 2004. In December 2004, it was replaced by the B7, and then you think like, wow, the B7 looks pretty different to the B6, but actually it is a facelift. Why does it look so different? Just get the picture of the B7 in your head now, and there's a single frame grille that Audi introduced in the A4 at those times. It was first introduced in the Audi A6, and this makes this car look a little bit bigger in the front. And then of course you got this wave-shaped front lights, and that's why it looks so different. Of course in the back you also got other taillights, but basically the interior and the general exterior is pretty much the same, and that is true for the Audi S4 as well. There's also technically not a lot of change. Only things they change here is the suspension system, and also instead of only 2 pipes in the end, you got 4 with the S4 B7. but basically everything else until 2009 is the same. So that's why it's also really great, because then you got a lot of parts you can share from other cars, right? So that's easy and brings costs down. Yeah, that's about like the specs of this car, but let's get into detail. Let's start this engine up, right? You want to hear that, don't you? So yeah, folks, finally the most interesting part. How does it feel to start this engine up? This is the thing I feel every time in the morning, this excitement to start. It's like, did you see my eyes go up like this? Because this is like how I feel. I get into this car, put in the key, and like, okay, it's happening again. It's happening again, and then this happens. Habibi, I love that. It's just great. It's like bringing a bear to life, and he's like, oh, you just woke me up after winter time. Freaking, what do you want to do? You want to go hard. I'm ready. And this is what this engine really is. It's amazing. 344 horsepower out of 4.2 liters. These actually come in very, very late at around 7,000 RPM, which is the red line. But what comes really way earlier is the torque, and this is just insane. It's typical for an 8-cylinder. It got a lot of torque, and it's already at its maximum at 3,500 rounds per minute, and it's 410 Newton meters. Take that. 410 Newton meters. It's kicking, really, it kicks in. I love it. When I'm going uphill to where I live, this is what makes the most fun in the curves. Just like starting it up, bringing it on the street, the torque, it's amazing. But hey, what am I talking about? Let's go for a spin, right? So this would not be Ultimate Autobahn if you would not test drive this car on the Autobahn itself. So I'm currently sitting at 130. I'm putting it down in S mode now. You immediately hear it shift up, and that's where we go and start it up. It goes really hardcore. It goes until close to 7,000 RPM, already at 180, approaching 200 here. So at around 200 it gets a little bit softer. I mean, like, it doesn't have that hard push anymore. Though we're approaching the 230s, we're freaking fast here. The cool thing is this part of the Autobahn is really empty. 240. Love this car. Let's take care of this like this. Truck coming there. Yeah, so we had to brake, unfortunately. But yeah, this car accelerates like crazy because of this intense torque. But I bet to don't tell you how much this thing here consumes. We get to that a little bit later. But yeah, that is the other one part. We were close to 250. It's amazing what this car is achieving with this 4.2 liter engine. It's really, really cool. It's got so much power left. I'm already at 230 again. It's super crazy. Okay, cool. Let's get it on the other track. So yeah, that was a speed test on the Autobahn, and now we're doing something more fun. We're going to an area that's pretty curvy and steep, and we're going to test the sports qualities of this Audi. As it's got its quattro drive, we're going to test it in the curves. It should be fun. Let's see what it's able to do here. And acceleration is just great. It goes fast, and then you get into curves. The brakes are strong and are braking quite well. But in the curves you can really feel that this car has a lot of weight on the front with this 4.2 liter 8-cylinder that is originally from the Audi A8 actually, and it was normally too big for the engine compartment of the A4, and therefore Audi actually made it 5 centimeters, 5.5 actually, shorter than the A8, and that they did by changing it to chain driven, which is actually a problem. Oh nice, 180 curve. Yeah, so we go inside here and then bam, just accelerated out of the curve. but what you feel that this car is heavy. It's 1.6 tons here, and when you get into curves, the ESP is doing a great job here. Still, this car gets a little bit sticky because it's understeering a lot. That's also because of its 50-50 balance of drive that it has. Whereas in the B7 they did a little bit of improvement and made it 40-70. So 40% goes to the front, 60% goes to the rear, and yeah, that gives it a little bit more sporty feel. I bet all that have not driven the B7 yet. Let's get back, like I was skipping that topic about the short engine. Yeah, they put, instead of having it a belt driven, this one is now chain driven, and that gave a lot of the S4's problems, because Volkswagen and Audi in various models they had problems with chains, and they had to be changed, which is a little bit of a difficulty. Wow, there was a nice SL65, guys. The first one, but back to this one, and which gave it a problem, and changing it is just a mess because it's actually to the interior side of the car, and therefore you have to take out the whole engine, and that's pretty costly. So if you're searching for one like these, please make sure that you get one where there's no problem with the chain. But other than that, it's pretty bad on gas. It consumes at least 15 liters. If you drive a little bit more sporty like we did today, be sure it will consume a lot more. This one here is LPG driven, which is great because at least here in Germany, LPG costs almost nothing with 60 cents a liter, and therefore you can drive this car with 15 to 17 liters of LPG per 100 kilometers, which gives it costs of around 10 to 12 euros for 100 kilometers when you drive normally with some sports activity in between. Yeah, what to say about this car? How can I sum it up? Is it a sports car? Guys, definitely not. This car is way too heavy for a sports car. This car is also way too much understeering when you go into curves and you feel the weight in the curves. So it's definitely not a sports car, but it's a sporty cruiser. And this is, when you search for something to start with an 8-cylinder, this is a great car. It gives you a lot of fun. The sound, you heard it, it's amazing. I love it. It gives you a great feel. Acceleration is sick, especially due to the torque that you have here. And yeah, it's definitely a car for everyday driving, having fun, good style, but it's not a sports car. So I hope you really liked that we took it around for some spin. I hope you were able to see something, because I've seen the camera from time to time. There's a lot of sun out right now, which is amazing, which is great, because the track is dry and therefore we can drive safely, which we are always doing. But you might not have seen too much of my face. I hope we're gonna improve that in the next videos. So I do hope you love this first video of mine. I hope it was able to not only show you some of the specs of this car and its design, but actually take you into the driver's seat, give you a feel of how this car really drives, to have you experienced by yourself, because that's my goal. I hope I accomplished that. Please let me know how I did. Write a comment down there, tell me like, Alex, this was great, or Alex, like, can you please improve that? And would really like to watch your videos more if you do that. That would help me a lot. Thank you so much for being with me. There's a lot more to come. If you hit the like button and subscribe, you will see what's there, because there should be some more sports and super sports cars coming to this channel. Maybe, if some things work out, even prototypes. I'm really excited about that, and I hope I can take you with me. So always drive safely and bring some power to the streets.